I kind of beg to differ when people talk about it's not worth dying for, because we really see people are dying every day. Like, isn't something that's supposed to be what life is about? Something is supposed to be worth dying for. You're supposed to find something worth dying for, and that's supposed to be that's supposed to be the ultimate goal of living, is to find something worth dying for. That's what it's all about. To find that passion, to find that thing. And I think freedom, human rights, I think that's where we're kind of starting to shift a lot of life in the world, not just in America, but in the world as a whole. I remember watching this documentary about China, about the people could only have 2 children, and they would come in and they would actually take the children. If you had more than 2 children in a home, they'll just come in and take them. And the people that was enforcing those policies were Chinese people. So watching that documentary, I think it was on Netflix, it was Netflix or Prime, watching that documentary let me know that when a government, you see it with the police, you see it with the militaries, when a government puts people in authority, they forget who they are. I'm gonna say that again. When a government puts people in authority, they forget who they are. They forget that they're one of us. They forget. You look in America and you see the police brutality, or you see these senators, or you see these public officials. They're always getting caught doing something that they're not supposed to do. And a lot of times you're just one of us. Like when you go to sleep, our government officials live with us. They don't live in another country and then fly into the city. If your senators and your governor in Texas lives in Texas, the governor of Louisiana lives in Louisiana, the governor of Alabama and New York, they live in these states. California, but they don't want to abide by the rules that they're setting. And I'm gonna say it like this, and they're willing to die on that injustice. And I don't mean like physically, but they're willing to commit political suicide for what they believe in. Look at the Cuomos. Everybody knew what they was doing was wrong. They kept doing it and they didn't care. And they thought that the party would uphold them. But like I've been telling everybody, once they use you, you gone. Once they've got enough of you and they've gotten you to do everything that you were supposed to do, you held up your end of the bargain. If you're a public service person and you're listening to this video, I want you to know, if they're asking you to do something, it's time to find that line in the sand. What you're gonna live for, what you're gonna die for. If you go with them, whatever they're asking you to do, as long as you're doing it, you're gonna think they're on your side. But they're really just setting you up to throw you away. And that's the way they do it. So my question is, what are you willing to live for, and what are you willing to die for? And this is what people say, man, it's not worth dying for. I hear this all the time. Yeah, like you conspiracy theorists or whatever, and you talking about fighting back, and then somebody will come, man, I hear what you're saying, but answer me this, is it worth dying for? That makes you think. That makes you think, like, is it worth dying for? And that question many times make people rethink their positions. And it makes you say, man, it's not worth dying for. Like, I don't want to die for that. Freedom, I'm going to be honest with you. You might not like what I'm about to say, but freedom is something to die for. And all I keep hearing in my mind, I didn't know the guy. I mean, of course, he was born and died way before all of us were alive, but that give me liberty or give me that really means something. Just imagine if the great Jesus, the great Yeshua, the great Christ would have said, you know what? This ain't really worth dying for. To free your soul, to free man from the grip of sin, it ain't worth dying for, man. Let me get on back out of here and going up to heaven. Think about that. When you turn on your convictions, when you're convicted, and then you say to yourself, this ain't worth dying for. Then my question to you is, if it's not worth dying for, what's the reason to keep living? If we're willing to give up every right that people have died for before us, we're going right back into the same thing for you people that didn't see the civil rights. We're going right back into the same thing. No blacks allowed. We're going right back to the same thing. You can't come in here. You can't get in this pool. Remember this. Remember that. Y'all looked at what Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when he put his foot in the pool with the black man. You remember the Dorothy Dandridge story? This great black actress that when she went and got up in the pool and the people saw her in the pool, they drained the whole pool. That's how they acting now. It's the same thinking. And some people say, there ain't nothing like this. It's the same thing. You can't come in. This person can't come in. That person can't come in. It has nothing to do with crime. It has nothing to do with, oh, you a rapist or you're a child molester. You can't go to the park. You can't go to the library. Okay, that's your thing. That turns you on. That we have to keep you away from that, right? You're going to hurt a person. You're going to physically hurt somebody. But to lose your rights when you're not actually a physical danger to anyone, it's crazy. The craziest thing you ever seen. So my question is it worth dying for? Ask yourself, look in the mirror and say, thinking of your children that are sleeping in their beds, is it worth dying for? Mama? Dad, is it worth dying for? Because you can ask the guys that go off to the wars and they'll tell you, this country was worth dying for. This country, they was willing to die for this country. But to go and die and sacrifice for freedoms that we don't even have, for freedoms that we're losing while our veterans are out there and out there coming back, going out, coming back. They're coming back into a world they don't even recognize. They're coming back into a world where they can't even freely go in and out of a public building. I think this is a travesty. I think we don't need to go in January 6th, the whole thing, right? We don't need to go in and take over, throw them down, whatever. And I don't think that's what January 6th was about. But we don't need to go and overthrow the government. We just need to watch what they're doing, because what's happening now is that they're able to do things and they're able to operate in a way where people can't see what they're doing. And that's dangerous. When you have a government that will not be transparent, it's dangerous. The great Obama ran his presidency on transparency until Edward Snowden released all that information. Then it was throw him in jail. I want you to think about that. That guy was willing to die. He knew they was gonna kill him. He was willing to die to get that information out to you, because everybody was saying it, and it was all conspiracy when people were saying the government's looking at you, Big Brother's looking at you, they're turning on your computers, they're turning on this, they're turning on that. It was conspiracy until Edward Snowden made it true. So my question is, are you willing to live in a world that's not worth dying for? Or are you willing to die in a world that's worth living for? That's my time. Thank y'all for watching Realville. Catch me on the next one. They got a lot of stuff going on in the news that we got to talk about, we got to chat about. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Remember, when you see something, you say something. That's the only way we have a shot at staying free.